lovers. Today I have Willy with me. So this is yet another live video for you guys. I'm here to answer any questions. And today I'm going to be shaving Willy. So I will be repeating myself a good few times because I have a good hour with this little boy. So I never know who pops in, if you're just popping in, or whatnot. So, little boy Billy gets a nice little shave. Come on here, honey. I need a little mask here so that I don't get any hairs in my nose. I don't want your hairs in my nose. Not Billy, Willy. It's Willy Billy. No? Want any hairs in my nose? All right, so I'm gonna wait a few seconds here to see if any people, how many people need to drop in, huh? Oh yeah, Willy, he made a poop on the table, and someone commented about that, about dogs that poop on the table. The person was shocked and surprised that the dog might poop or pee on the table, and yes, that is something that happens frequently at the groomers. Hello, Shelly. Good morning to you. I have a Shih Tzu for you today. And yeah, so I'm going to wait till there's a little more people and we will be talking about why dogs poop on the table. Or make pee-pee sometimes. Yes, they do. So you want to get into the grooming? We got a few people here to watch. So just a little background quick about Willy. I've been grooming him since last spring, 2024. He's a really good pup, but he's a bit squirmy. So there's going to be a little bit of a little Willy squirm here. And yes, I am shaving him down. Not the head, not the tail, I'll be shaving the whole body. He has a few knots here and there. Little mini mats, I would call them. So here we go, we're gonna start the grooming. Yes, we are. You know, he's wearing one of my favorite colors, black, which is not necessarily the color, but anyhow. We're wearing the same top today. All right, so let's get this done. We have a 7F and I'm going to shave him first. And yes, he is precious, Shelly. I'm going to shave him first. And then we're going to go to the top. I'll get this in a little closer for you guys so you can see a little more of the details. I would have put my other camera that I wear on my neck, around my neck, but what happens is that camera it's upright when I'm doing my normal videos. It's horizontal, and then I have to bring it upright when I'm doing live, so it's kind of in my way. I tried that last week, no, hun. But no, we're going to go with the normal stand like this. So if ever you guys want some close-ups on something, just let me know and I'll bring the camera in. If you want to see something a little closer, let me know. All right, so little Willy, I'm going to start with the shave here. He seems pretty clean, actually. I think his mom actually gave him a bath because he smells nice. You're not smelly. No, you smell pretty nice. Yeah. So some people think that a shave down is faster. It can be faster if the dog is not matted. But if the dog has mats, we are talking about a lot longer because your blade, you have to work your blade behind those mats, right? And Willy here doesn't have any mats on his body. He doesn't seem to have any, unless I run into some, but I checked him out and underneath he might have some. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see as we go, guys. Okay? He's got knots, some knots in there. Look at that. He's so soft and he smells so good this morning. My. Mom gave you a nice bath, I think. So I'm going to put my mask back on because I don't want to be breathing the dander or the hair. Because I'll be coughing all night if I don't. My lungs are very sensitive, so. You got to be careful when you're shaving the inside here. You can always find an extra toe. He's got an extra toe here. So while you're shaving, please be careful to check for that extra toe, because you don't want to catch the toe and remove that. So as I'm shaving, I do not shave reverse on the tip of the toes. I don't want to shave reverse because I don't want to expose those toenails unless the client asks me. So I'll start right before the toes and I do a reverse here because I just find it's cleaner doing a reverse on the feet like that, back here. And so he's going to go to the tub, and then after that he's going to have a second shave, right? We're going to clean him out properly with the shaver afterwards. See here, I'm not touching this here. I'm not coming here with my blade because I don't want to catch that extra toe. He's a little worried. Willy, are you worried? Little worried Willy. Yeah, so we're going to bring this all down there, you know. Shave downs are fairly easy, you know. Fairly easy, you know. You know. So your bum area, I'm careful not to do where his little poopy hole is. If you're using a 7-blade, you got to be careful. Some dogs have extra skin here. That's probably due from having that little operation done a little late, you know, because then they have more skin as they get older, I guess. So let me just get rid of all of that. Wow, Shelly. Thank you kindly, Shelly. Thank you so much. Well, I brought you a Shih Tzu this morning. I hope you're enjoying. Do you like all color Shih Tzus, or is there a specific color you prefer? White, black, colored, or do you just like all of them? Thank you again, Shelly. Very kind. Yeah. Okay. Okay, alrighty then. We got all of that off of his little toes. I'll go forward a little. He's a little nervous. Really, why are you nervous, honey? Okay, same thing here. You got to be careful because back here there's that little extra toe here. You want to place your thumb, or just remember where that is, so you don't catch that. Because with this, you could easily hurt them. Scoop it out, and yeah, you don't want that. You may be thinking, oh my God, there's a mat here, and then you're working on that, and it's like, I don't think you should do that. What do you think, Willy? You want to keep all your toes? You keep all of the toes? Are you not sure? Last time I saw Willy, it was in November, and now it's March, so November, December, January, February, March. It's 4 months, so his whole face is grown out. So if you're grooming and shaving down an older dog, you got to be sure to look and feel, before you start shaving, you got to feel for any little bumps or any little, you know, anything. Feel for anything that's going on, because you don't want to be cutting the dog and cutting off any of those warts that they might have. For an older dog, you're going to want, here it gets pretty loose. So for an older dog, you're going to want to be sure that this is nice and tight. So you can pull the skin back and shave, or bring it in this way. Because when this gets all soft and loose, you can catch that skin in your blade. So it's sit-to save down for Willy this morning. You're going to show me your belly? All right. So this area here, we're going to keep this whole area down here. We're going to keep that for the 10 blade. I'm not going to use the 7 blade. The 10 blade cuts shorter, and it has, the teeth are a lot closer to each other. So sensitive areas should be the 10 blade. Remember when I mentioned to be careful and to be sure that you check out to see what's going on their skin? Here he has like a little lipoma. That's like a soft bump. It's fat. That's all it is. If it's moving around and it's soft, that should be a lipoma, but it's important to have your dog checked out just the same. So when you're shaving, you don't want to come in and, you know, hit that, because that could be painful. And little boy, you don't want any pains. I'm going to show you how I do the front legs here. I usually like to bring everything straight down and right in the front. And then on the sides here, I'll come in the opposite direction. I'll do both directions, this way and this way. And the reason for that is because the hairs kind of grow one direction and the other direction. I just want to be sure that I'm catching all the hairs. Over here, there's a little thumb. You don't want to be catching that thumb. All colors are lovely. I wish I could send you more money. Oh, Shelly, seriously, you're too kind already. Thank you so much. There wouldn't be no need for that. But it's very, very appreciated. I know that you've been watching my channel for probably a good part of a year now. And I know you love Shih Tzus. So I'm happy that you get to see this little Shih Tzu this morning. So there. Yes, all colored Shih Tzus are fine, no matter what color. So you want to be sure to check that blade. My blade's getting a little warm. Here I am talking and talking. I got to get another blade here for this little one. I know we only have one more leg to go, but you know, we'll still do it. Check for that little thumb. Check for that thumb coming one way. He's knotted up in the legs pretty much. I wouldn't say full mat, but pretty much knotted, especially on the inside. So again, I'm bringing this all down forward. I don't want to be coming in and exposing the toenails unless the client is asking me for that, like when you're doing a poodle. And so see here how the legs, I'm going to show you closer, guys. I hope you can see well, because I know darker pups, it's not always easy. See how the hair grows in one direction like this. And then you have hairs growing in another direction going down that way and upwards. So here the hair grows in all kinds of directions. See here, it grows this way. This one's growing this way. That's growing that way, all of this. This one's going this way, this side. So that is the reason why when I'm shaving, I will shave up. Shaving up, see? No more hairs are falling, right? See, as I'm shaving up, there's no more, but watch, when I come back down this way, there's more coming off. So I like to do that, just to be sure that I get all the different angles in there. And I tend to do the same thing on this side. And you know, guys, it doesn't really show, so, you know, it's not like, oh my God, that's so much shorter. It's not. In here, I'm just going to go behind that last toe here, but there's another toe over here, so you got to be really careful with that too. And there's a nail there, so I'm kind of wiggling through it. Wiggling and squiggling. We got to do this side too here. Are you ready for your bath? Because I'm ready. Is Willy ready? Okay, so I'm going to back this up and I'm going to bring you guys to the bath. I'm going to set Willy up here. A second here. So you guys can see perfectly well. Phone is ringing, I think. Well, I forgot to put it on Do Not Disturb. So if the phone rings, I'm more than sorry. I could have easily shaved him down here underneath also. I didn't. It's all good. I'll shave him after. There's no law there. I'm just going to set him here. And I'm actually going to bring the camera. Can I bring the camera up? I'm going to do this like this. I think I'm going to set my camera up on top. Hang on, guys. Let me know if you prefer the bird's eye view or, you know, side. I'm just going to set this up like this so you'll be able to see his whole body. That's why I like to set him like this whenever I'm doing my videos. There. That should be good enough. You want to get out already? Can I give you a bath? Look at that hair in your face. Look at that hair in your face. So I did a video this week. The video I did was all about bathing. There's a viewer who had asked me if she wanted to see a little more of the bathing process. And this week, I had been planning on doing a video, you know, of doing one of those videos where it's all about just bathing. And when my client arrived, it was my last client on the Saturday. When she arrived, she asked me if she could stay. So I couldn't film because, you know, for client privacy reasons. But I had to film. I needed a video, right? So I decided to film my dog, Jace. Well, he was due for his bath on the Monday, so I figured, well, I'll just do it now and I'll just film it. So that's my last video I did, grooming my own dog. So if ever you want to see how, you know, a full wash, well, you'll either see it today here, or you can see me grooming my own dog. All right, so I'm going to set this up here because he keeps putting his feet up, and just a little trick. I don't want water leaking everywhere. So. Because I end up getting water on my toes. Is there water on my toes? Are you doing that? I keep dreaming that I'm grooming. It's just weird. I dream that I'm grooming and that I can't get the groom finished in time. For some weird reason. I don't know what that means. So as I mentioned also in my video, I talk about how, you know, if you're to give one or two shampoos. I usually always give two shampoos, but in some cases I'll only give one. I'll give one shampoo if it's a puppy and it's their first time, because I don't want the dog to stress out anymore than needed, so I'll give them one shampoo. I'll give one shampoo if it's an elderly dog and the dog has, you know, the dog has trouble with, sometimes they have pains in their legs and whatnot, so I just do that one shampoo, but a good one. You know, I'll just, if I feel the need that he needs a little more, then I'll try to just squeeze all of this shampoo out and I'll just add more shampoo. I just don't want to put him through the rinsing process and just, you know, too much for him. And what are the other reasons why I would do only one? Oh, if the dog is fairly clean. Like this little one here, she brought me him. I tell you, he's clean. She probably washed him yesterday. He's soft, it smells pretty. So I don't think that he needed too much of a wash. Unless it's his feet are pretty dirty, I don't know. But I'll see. See a little bit of brown there. What's that? A little bit of jiggle jiggle here and there. So yeah, he's gonna get only one shampoo. We're gonna rinse him out. And he's a very good dog. It's just that he's a little squirmy. So this little Shih Tzu's face is not getting any soap. I'm not going to shampoo between the eyes here. I'm not gonna add any there. I don't want to get shampoo there. My finger can't fit, and that's how I decide that. If my finger doesn't really fit in there, I mean, it could, but it's a little too close. I mean, I'd be rubbing the dog's eyes. So if my finger, that's my way of doing it. If my finger won't fit in there much, then I won't be putting any soap in there. And what I will be doing, though, he'll be rinsed out. He'll have a little water, a little bit of water on the side here. But I'll be washing that whole area with my other product at the table. I have to hold his head good, guys, because he just keeps turning. turning and turning. So I had someone commented on one of my videos this week, on an older video, and they were shocked that I had mentioned that some pups might poop or might pee during the grooming process, especially when we're drying them. This is what I've noticed. You know, the dryer can be a little loud, and if the dog didn't go do his poops or pees before coming in for the groom, sometimes that's a stress response, right? It's a stress response. So especially if their tummies are, you know, their bowels are full, we're getting there, then the dog might just let it go on the table. The force dryers, you know, it's loud. Even if you put a happy hoodie on. A happy hoodie really, it doesn't, what I find is the happy hoodie, of course it doesn't get rid of sound. It just helps, it helps a little, but it also helps, it gives them a tight feeling on their head, a tighter feeling on their head, so there's a little security there. And it also helps, when you get close with the wind, so he doesn't get wind in his ears, it doesn't sound loud, doesn't sound as loud. So yes, I've enjoyed using the happy hoodie. I wasn't using it before. People were mentioning that, about the happy hoodie, and I decided to try it. Some dogs just don't want it, but they'll just try to take it off their paws. But back to the pooping and peeing on the table, well, yeah, even with the happy hoodie, it's just a stress response. That's all it is, guys. They get scared, oh, what's going on? And then they'll just release. It has happened to me in the 15 years of grooming. It might have happened to me like on one hand, maybe 5 times. And then the time around, the dog comes back, I'll write it on my card. I'll write the dog pooped on the table. I'll write that. And I let the client know that the dog needs to go do his or her job before coming to the grooming. Because what happens is if they're pooping or peeing and then they'll go and step in it while I'm drying them, it's like it just happens quick. It's happened before where I had to put the dog right back in the bath. And it's not cool for anyone. Not cool for me, not cool for the dog. They gotta go through the wash process again. I'm just holding that ear down. As you notice, I used a towel here, which was supposed to stay dry, but I used the towel to wipe up any excess water, soap, and then I'll come in, pinch that ear. If I'm not wiping off that excess water, if I squish the ear down, it'll just go down the ear canal. Try here, hang on, I'll see if you can let me do this. Okay, you're all good. There, we're done rinsing the head. We're done, honey. All right. So yeah, so it's important to have your pup do his work before visiting the groomer. And if it does happen, you let the client know that the dog pooped on the table. Let them know he had a pee or a poop on the table. And then I write it down on my card to see if next time that happens. And, in general, it doesn't happen again. It's just because they needed to go, and then there was a stress response, and that just pushed them over the edge. As you would say. All right, you like to dance, don't you? Hang on, honey, I gotta get this. Thank you. We're done in the bath, guys. See how? Yes, it's no more complicated than that. You just gotta be sure that you're doing it properly and safely. I always tie the dogs in the tub. It takes a second for them to want to just jump out. I was grooming my cat the other day, And I'm so used to grooming dogs. I don't do cats, right? But I was grooming my cat, and I don't tie my cat. And just for 1 second, when I went to get the shampoo, she just whoop, jumped right out. They're so quick. Cats are so quick. And she's fine. I mean, jumping out, I mean, a cat. Cats can jump from really high, so. But not these. These little pups, if they jump from here, they're not a good idea. They could really break something. Are we done? Yes, we are. I'm just going to get this ready for my next pup. I just add hot water to that and I put the bottle back in so the next pup doesn't have any cold soap. We don't want cold soap. Just gonna go set you. Hang on. See how he just jump out? Hang on. We set him up on the table here. Just give me 2 seconds, guys. Bring this in. Give me a second. Here he is. He's right there. What you doing, little Willie? Hey, Willy Nilly. Hey, Steph. Do you think you could get me the bathrobe, the little ducky bathrobe for Willie? I think it's in the, I did a wash. It's in the room. You want to wear a ducky robe? Or did I bring it here? No, I didn't bring it here. Okay. So, just so you know, my tub is literally 1 step away from the table. So if I turn sometimes, the dog is right there. The dog is tied. My ears are there. I saw another Donna the groomer. I don't know if you guys have seen her. I just love Donna. Donna the dog groomer. I'm not sure if that's the name. I think it's Donna the dog groomer, Donna dog grooming. But she mentioned that in one of her videos lately about how you need to be listening. You know, we always have our ears open to hear, and she's been grooming for a long time. I don't know how long, but I know it's been a good while. She owns her little shop. Thank you. She owns her little shop and whatnot, so. Anyhow, I really love her grooming. Love her work, and, you know, she's a groomer. You know, this is what we do. I understand her, and pretty sure she understands me. If she's seen some of my videos, I don't know. All right, but that's fine. But she's got 10-minute videos, you know, 5, 6, 7-minute videos. They're not very long. Mine tend to be really long because I like to explain as I groom. My grooming style, my video style, that's what I do. Is you watch as I go and I teach as I go. So, from one dog to another, there may be different situations. So when I hit a situation, that's when I start explaining. So usually see how dogs don't really like being sprayed in the face, so I like to just put it on my hand first and then just rub onto his little beard here. All this is, guys, is just it's called D-Knot from Wall, and it just really makes the hair nice and soft. It helps with the knots, of course. Oops, watch it. Watch it, watch it. So that's what he's right here, step away, and he gets the rubber ducky this morning. So I like to I've fallen in love with these. I think I want to start making some, like making, you know, sewing some, making some for myself. Well, not for myself, but for the dogs. I just love putting these on while I clean out their eyes and ears. And the reason why I do this is, well, 1, to keep them warm, and 2, so that the product can work, can sink, well, not sink, sorry. The product can absorb right into in the skin or Donna. Donna, is she on YouTube too? Yes, she is. Look for Donna. She's a Southern girl. It's just really cute. I just love her accent. She's so funny. I find her really funny. She's really cool. I think you're gonna like her. If you haven't seen her, Shelly, I think you're gonna like that. It's different. You know, we all have our different filming styles and whatnot, but her videos are not very long, and it's just, you know, she's conversing with the dog, and I don't know, I just find it really cute. All right, so we're gonna brush out this tail, which is pretty brushed out. And same thing on the top here. So I'm using a wet brush for the brushing. And those are the wet brush with the little plastic nibs there, so that does not scratch the skin. Whoa. So I think this is a little big for you, honey. Alright, okay, I'm going to clean out his eyes. Let's bring him in closer. Not sure if you're going to see well because he's a dark pup. Clean out those eyes. Just using a flea comb for this. You want to be sure not to catch that eye. They like to move around, these little ones. How about this side, honey? Don't move, hon. Okay. If that debris does not come out with the comb, if you can just at least try to pull some of that debris, you don't have to pull it all out. It's just if you can get it away from the skin, because then after that, I'm going to use my comb here, which fell on the ground, and I am going to clean out this eye area here. Oh, I'm going to need some more eye cleaner. So if you've used your flea comb and pulled the poopies out, like just pulled it forward and it doesn't want to come out, that's fine. All you're going to do is come in and you're going to cut. You either cut with your scissors if there are no folds, because if there are little folds there, you're probably better off with the shaver, because some Shih Tzus that have their noses are close, they'll have little bumps, little ripples, and you don't want to cut if there are ripples. So we use a little of this product. This is what I was telling you guys a while ago. But if I can't get in there with my soap, I will get in there with my product. Willie doesn't want me to do this, but I'm not hurting him. He's just unhappy with the process. So this is the Diamond Eye. It's a tear stain remover, and it cleans out the whole eye area here. All right, so we did that. Let's look at your ears. Willie has just a little bit of these hairs here. Actually, that's a lot. So I'm going to go in with my little shaver here, and I'm going to turn and do a little bit of wiggling, and that's just going to shave the hair out. See how easy that was for the dog? Instead of having to yank it out, that was easy for the dog. I'm not putting the shaver inside the ear hole. That's the hole. I'm not doing this. I'm doing this sideways. There may be little hairs that stay there, but that's fine. What we want, it's not that you want a naked ear. It's you want an ear that is not full of hair. We need an ear that can breathe. If it's pretty dense, and once you've shaved and there still is pretty much a lot but really short, then you might want to do some plucking. But in general, all I do is just turn like this and give it a little wiggle, and that just shaves it out. Guys, hang on, honey. A little more. I'm going to grab another one. Here, I'll grab a color one so you can see against his skin here. See how that just shaves it out? Hang on. See? And that gives a nice clean ear. See that? Even if there's a few little fuzzies left, it's fine. If the client really wants that out, then just pull it out. Go at it if you want. But I'm fine with this. The dog does not. The dog's ear can breathe. So there you go. Then you're gonna wanna wash these with a good soap, antibacterial soap, and you're gonna want to dry it well and then spray it down with alcohol. So now I'm gonna wash the dog's ears and we're gonna dry them. The fun part. If you use the same pad, if you have one pad and you use it for the dog's ears, you use one side and then you can use the other side for the other ear. Like here, if the dog's ear is pretty dirty, you're gonna wanna flip it around and then come and continue cleaning. As long as your pad comes out dirty, you're not done. You may want to use another pad. But if it comes out clean, you know you've done your job. There are different ways you can, for this product, it says you can put directly into the ear. That'll dry out the ear, it'll help to dry out that ear, it will clean and it'll go in deeper. I tend to just wipe around like this. You know, when you pour it in the ear, then the dog will shake it out. Always read the instructions on how to use a product. Okay? So I'm gonna clean this up. I need to see back here, before drying them, if there's any little gifts for me here. And I'll just cut that out. You gotta be really careful with a pair of scissors in this area. If you don't feel safe with the scissors, please use the clipper and don't use it on top. And if you use a clipper, use a 10 blade. Don't use it on top of that little bum. Now I'm just going to clean out his bum area because I just want to be sure. So I'm going to use a baby wipe just to clean out the bum. Yeah, I'm glad I did. I had a little bit of that there. So even if you're washing in the bath, stuff can stay stuck there. It can. So I'm going to use a little bit of alcohol on my tools here. I'll wipe them up. I have a towel here set up next to me, and I use some alcohol because I want to be sure that for the next pup, the pup is going to be safe and won't have any bacteria. All right. We're all done. So, yeah, I'm thinking of maybe making my own little robes. I don't know. I say stuff sometimes and then don't get it done. We'll see. It's something I'd like. So I'm going to back this up a bit, show you my drawing process. Okay, give me a second. So I'm going to set them up on this extra little no sit band here. I don't know what they call them. I just put that towel there to be sure that he's comfortable. And I will be drying Pup. I won't be putting a little happy hoodie because he tends to want to take it off, so I don't want to fight him. I gotta get him used to it though, but anyhow. So the reason why I put him on this band also is so that he doesn't keep turning too much, and it just helps me. So I'm gonna start the dryer. You're gonna notice that I dry section by section. I'm gonna look at him, not at me. Section by section, and yeah, give me 5-8 minutes about. important to put your stuff back away. Keep your area clean. I like to do that. And then when your client is here, I like to clean, be sure that my space is nice and clean here. Shelly, you're so thoughtful warming up the shampoo for your next groom. Of course, because there was a while where I noticed that when you're putting the shampoo, there's extra shampoo left for the next dog, right? So that shampoo can get cold. So it's not, can you imagine throwing a whole bunch of cold water while you're in a nice warm bath, right? Nice warm shower, and then suddenly someone just pours some cold water all over you. So it's not very comfortable. It's very uncomfortable. You've noticed that I did not dry the dog's head. I will be demonstrating my new do's here. This is my new dryer. I love dryers. I have a few. I have the normal force dryer. I have this new do's here. And I'll show you the do's. You don't have to hold the hose, and you can just place it the way you want to. Sometimes I notice that it does come down a bit, but we kind of tweak it. But anyhow, it's not very loud. The dog seems to be fine with it. This is his first time, the juice, so we're going to see how it goes. I want to use a tiny slicker brush for his head. And sometimes they'll kind of want to pull away from it, but look at how soft. This air is just flowing softly. See how it's just soft? It's not loud, and the dogs seem to not mind it too much. Of course, they're not enjoying the wind in their face, but and I'm just kind of rubbing that hair, trying to separate the hairs the best I can. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to brush it a bit. With the dog, sometimes depending on the dog, sometimes I'll use my other dryer. I have different dryers, handheld dryers. And from one dog to another, I'll try them out, and then I'll see what the best dryer is for that dog. He's just moving around. I don't want that. So I just gotta hold his head a little still here. But I tell you, this air that I'm putting in my face, it's really soft. It's a light wind. You gotta dry it out, honey. If the dog doesn't want, if the dog is freaking out too much and doesn't want to be dried, then I will just try to just do at least an 80% dry, 85% dry at least, best I can. And I'll let the rest dry on its own. If this was competitive grooming, of course you've got to be sure that the dog is completely dry, but usually those dogs are very good dogs with the dryer and with everything. So. And the reason why you want it to be completely dry is because the better the dryer, the better you're drying and brushing out, the better the cut, right? So, but I'm not a competitive groomer, I'm a groomer, and I groom family pets, so these are family members. As long as the dog is safe, dog needs to be safe and comfortable. That's the pull of it. It's a bit squirmy. I'm just lightly tapping with the slicker brush. It's a tiny, tiny slicker brush. Gotta be careful in the face with these slicker brushes. You don't want to poke their eye. Oh, you don't want to poke their eye. Can I see your face? Can I? Bring this over here. Back it up again a little. And I just want to comb this out. Look at all that. All that's got to go, guys. All of it. All of that. Yeah, this Do's, I just ordered it on Amazon. It's Do's, D-U-Z. It's a hands-free dryer. There. Not too bad, huh? You guys should try it on its own. No, you don't want to do this already. You gotta do a little more, just a bit more. If you do use if you have a force dryer, and you do use it on a dog's head, please hold that dryer really far away from the head just to cause a little wind. You don't want to be bringing the dryer in the dog's face. Just try the dryer on your face. If you're doing it to the dog, try it on yourself first. Try the dryer on your face like this around your ears and see how that feels. And you're probably not going to like it. So you can imagine the pup's not going to like it either. So if I'm putting the Do's in my face, it's just soft wind. So that does not hurt. There might be a little sound, like a wind sound, a little in your ears, but it's nothing bad. I know the dog's safe, and he's just a little annoyed with me. Okay, turn you around. Turn around. Turn around. Do this side anymore. All right, that seems to be good enough. So I'm going to set this down. And what I like about the Do's is you can hook it up onto like a wall, or you can just move it around. It stands pretty good. All right, so he's combed out back here. I brushed that beautiful tail, and here too, he's all combed out. So we're gonna look at his feet, and let's do this. Let's get you groomed, okay? You not a kiss? You not a kiss? You don't want to give me a kiss? No kisses. No kisses, lady. You smell like coffee. Yes, speaking of coffee, I probably do smell like coffee. Want some coffee? Lady, you smell like coffee. All right. So next, feet. Footsies. So for those who don't know who I am, my name is Elizabeth Jenn, and I've been grooming since 2010. I'm a professional dog groomer. I own my little business here, and I love my work. I only groom a few dogs a day. All right, so I'm going to use a 30 blade here. I don't like to rush into grooming like 10, 15 dogs in my day, because I don't want to tire myself out physically, mentally, emotionally. And I want to be sure that I can offer the best service I can. Some people are able to do that many dogs. I don't know how they do it, because I work from 10 in the morning to 6:30 around at night. You know, my clients, when they come here, we always have conversations, and you know, I always set up enough time. Like example, I'll groom one dog at 10:30. Oh, I want to show you guys something before I continue talking about that. I'm gonna have to go in with my scissors. Hang on, I'm gonna just show you what's going on. Something's going on over here. The dog's got some mats in there. I haven't seen the dog in a long, long while. It's been too long, right? So all of this ends up building up. So you gotta be really careful with your scissors. I'm going in with scissors that have those little, these are the Kenshis. They're really cute. And I'm just going in with these, and they have a little round tip. And I'm just gonna cut some of that out. I could easily go in also with my blade, but the 30 blade You're always risking it, right? I know some people like to, they even dig with, some groomers, I mean, they'll dig in to go get that. I can do a light digging. You gotta be extremely careful because there's that little tendon there. So I got all that out. All right, got it out. So what was I saying? What was I talking about? Talking about my clients. Oh yeah, I start at 10 in the morning. The client comes in, I'll groom the dog. Client comes back, and then we always end up talking for like at least 10 minutes. Conversation, you know. Oh, how was your trip, and how was this, and how was that? Hey, Michael. And yeah, so I like to carve out some time for my clients. It's not just like an in and out, in and out, in and out thing. We got some more going on here. I wish I could zoom in while I'm live, and I can't. I can't do that. I really want to get all of it. It's all sticky, and I could feel it when I was cleaning his toes a while ago. You're being very nice. Thank you so much. If you use scissors in this area, guys, you got to be extremely, extremely careful. And before you snip, be sure what you're snipping. Go in slow, snip slow. I'm gonna try to dig in there. I do not like digging with the berry blade, but when you gotta. I'm going and digging in slowly. So yeah, I just like to carve out some time. There, done. I like to carve out some time for my clients so that I can give them a more personalized service, not just like come in and walk out and don't talk and just, you know, charge them. And I don't know. I've always been like that, I guess. I like I'm a people type of person. Did we do these back ones? Yes, we did. Of course, I would start with the back ones. All right, that's done. So, yeah, and I groom my 4 dogs a day. I have one at 10, one at 12:30, one at 2:30, and one at 4:15. And then, guys, by the time I'm done my day, by the time I'm done the last dog, from 4:15 to anywhere between 5:15 and 5:45, I'm done the dog. It depends on what the dog's coat condition was and how long I talked to the client, and if the client stays. And then after that, I got to do all the paperwork, got to return my calls, texts. So I'm out of here. It's maybe 6:30, 7 o'clock. Then it's time to eat, supper. I'm going to show everyone how I was doing this, just in case that they weren't there a while ago. I'm going to show you guys that I come in down straight like this, because I don't want to, I go in reverse only above the toes, because I don't want to expose those toes. You got to be careful. He's got that little toe there. I want to catch that toe. He has an extra toe. Same thing on this side. With that extra toe, then be very careful. So another reason why I come in this direction is because there's a pocket here. If you're going down this way, you won't catch the hair that's in there. So that's just how I do things. You do it the way you want. Not everyone does. Each groomer does. We learn, of course, the basics, and we learn what we need to get done. But we all have our own tricks and ideas and. That's why there's so many groomers out there on YouTube, but you'll notice that each groomer functions differently, right? At the same time, we also function the same. We have the same in general the same laws, right? I would think. That's what I've noticed. Here again, we have that toe here. No toe. Are we sure? No toe there. It's safe to come in. Do the reverse. Do the reverse on the side, in the front. And I thought he had an extra toe there. All right. So this is the second shave. Usually you like to shave the dog down first. Then you're going to want to wash the dog, dry the dog, and then do the second shave to make them all clean. And do not drop the clipper. I can't believe that I dropped my clipper, guys. It's still alive. Oh my God. Dropping scissors is one thing, but dropping a clipper. Please be good to me. You know, these clippers cost money, you know. Oh, it just slipped right out of my hands. Let's see. He's still working. He's still working. It still sounds the same. I'm not going to come in and scoop. I'm going to do that with the 10 blade. See, guys, accidents happen, you know. You can be the best groomer in the world and the most experienced groomer in the world, and it just happens. You're on the job and it happens. Your hand got slippery, you hit something, it just kind of slipped right off the table like that. Up, up. Remember, there's that bump here. You don't want to be jabbing into the bump, so you go lightly all around that bump. That belly's going to be done with the 10 blade. Guys, I'm live every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And I upload new videos 8 a.m. Eastern Time, so check your time zones. And yeah. I hope to see you on my lives. I'm here for any questions you got. And when you do comment or ask questions in my videos, I select a comment, and in the next video you'll get a shout out. I'll be either replying there also, replying to a question, or just giving you a shout out, saying hello and whatnot. So if you want to join me, I will be starting memberships really soon. As soon as I hit 4,000, but this channel, but this community grows to 4,000 subscribers, I will then start memberships. Not a day. Oh, are you okay? Oh, guys, if that happened. Oh. I mean, I have other clippers, but this is my favorite one because it's the cordless. And what I love about this cordless here is if it dies out, all you have to do, if the battery dies out, all you have to do is plug in and continue. You got a stand honey for this. I had no choice. There's way too much hair there. My, your hair grew a lot. It did. I tell ya. A little one? Yes. They like to tuck their tails in there. I don't want to catch its tail. You gotta be sure it's all clean because when you make pee-pees, we don't want it to smell like pee-pee all over your hair here. Okay? You take it all off. It's just pulling. So hold that tail and come in reverse here. See, I don't want to use a 7 blade in this area. There's a lot of little loose skin in there. Even for girls, boy or girl, you want to come in with a 10 blade. Yeah. Wow, he's got a tattoo here. A tattoo mark. Okay, boy, I just want to be sure that that's well done here. Nice and equal around here. All right. actually, I'm gonna come back in with my 7, and I do want to do a reverse, because I'm seeing some of that hair hanging down. He's got this here tucked up hair, so I'm just gonna do a reverse with my 7. Try to blend that in nicely. Yeah. He doesn't want to be standing. I'm gonna put my 10 blade back on, and I'm gonna do under his arms. Here. Just lightly under your arms. He's got some knots and mats in there. And it's not always easy to get in there, but you want to use the corner of your blade to try to scoop it out. If there's some dogs have deeper pits than others. When that happens, I just lightly go in with the little corner. You don't want to be poking the dog, but and then that skin flap just pulls, and sometimes it just doesn't work, and I go in with my scissors. And if you move your clipper around, it should work. So let's do his nails. Can you turn around from in here? See how he does with his nails. Oh, that nail is short. Nails are pretty short. Mom must have done them. Did Mom do them? Because after all those months, I would have imagined his nails being longer, but I guess she probably does them at home. So I'm just edging the tips here because those nails are pretty short already. I don't want to hit that vein. Often the nails in the back will be shorter because, dogs will know, if he's outside and he's running on the pavement, or depending on where he takes his walks, he might use up that nail, and they use it up in the back. Oh, more than the front, like, because they're like kicking and they're running. There. Okay, these little nails are done, guys. You did such a good job, honey. You did a good job. All right, so what does he get on his head? He gets a 13 millimeter on his head, so I'm going to put 13 millimeter, just so you know. Hang on, sorry, I'm in the way. Is the orange and this comb. It is 1/2 inch, and that would be the number 1 comb. So I'm going to do his head. We're almost done, huh? And I'm going to go in reverse here. You never want to bring your clipper down to the nose. You want to come slip off the slope. And then you're thinking, yeah, but how do I get all of this in the front? Well, that's easy. You just pull that skin back with your fingers. See how it pulls back? And then you can come off the slope again. I am going to sneeze. Hang on. Oh, boy. Oh, sorry about that, guys. All right, so yeah, once again, off, pull this back like this with your finger, off. You don't want to go down into it. You don't want to go down into the nose, okay? All right, so that's all done. We're going to just scissor the rest. Okay, so I'm going to grab some curves and some straights for this. We're going to turn him around. And I'm going to take all of that out, and I'm just going to go all around the toesies. You can do this on the table if you are more comfortable. Of course, if the dog is older and has a hard time standing, you have to not forget that little toenail here. He has that extra one. That happens, guys. I'm just going to come in with these little kitty nippers. So yeah, so you can cut off the table. If the dog is an older dog, might not like having his leg up like this, might be uncomfortable for him. Some older dogs have knee problems. Sometimes your dog doesn't have any physical problems. And some are just older and they just can't balance on 3 legs, right? So you're going to want to just hold that, keep that leg down and do it on the table. okay? I just like doing it this way. Whenever I can, that's what I do. All right, so once all that's done, we've got all 4 feet. I'm just gonna go around, fluff up, sorry for my head in the way. Here it is. I'm just gonna fluff up the top of the toes here, lightly tapping, and I'm just going to round that out. You gotta check for that toe. There's that extra toe here. Way too easy to cut into that. So if you guys got any questions, I'm here right now. We got a groomer online. Okay. All right. There's a flap here. Be very careful of this flap. Come underneath here. There's another flap there. I'm just taking sticky outies out, whatever's sticking out. I'm just clean it out. See, remember when I mentioned that I don't go in reverse for the toes? Look at that. You can't see the toenails. See, toenails are hidden. If I were to go in reverse with that, if I were to go in reverse, then we would have some toenail action. All right. He's got a bump here. This bump, that's not extra hair. Okay, that's a bump. And I'm going to let Mom know that he has a bump there. Maybe she knows, maybe she doesn't. But if she doesn't know, she'll be able to talk to her vet about it. What are you doing? Why are you getting excited? What did you see out there? It's always important, if you find anything on the dog, to write it down in your notes. And because you don't want to be repeating to the client. Because your client might feel bad if ever you've mentioned, hey, your dog has a little lump here, or your dog has something there. Maybe the person hit, hey, why is that a lump? You don't want to be repeating and telling them. If you've told them once, you write it down and you say, do not mention it again, because it's none of your business, you know. The dog went or not. Oh, the dog's, I don't know. It's just important not to repeat, because you don't want the client leaving here feeling like, oh my God, it's true, I was supposed to go do that, I didn't do it. And then the client might not come back. They might feel bad and not want to come back. They'll say, oh, that person keeps telling me that I have to see someone for this, or, you know. So his tail, I'm going to bring it right down to the table. And then the cut. It's always important. I always leave in my notes, whenever we had a specific conversation, I'm always leaving in my notes little messages like, example, someone went on vacation, and then I'll write down, we talked about the vacation, and I'll just remind myself so that in 8 weeks when I see the person again, to mention, oh yeah, it's true, how did that vacation go? And it's not that, well, it is that I don't remember, of course. You know how many people I see in a week? So, yeah, a lot of people. I just flagged that tail. So it's good. They may mention their son-in-law, that his wife is going to give birth, and then you know that person is going to give birth. We'll say in a few weeks, but you're only going to see the client in like 2 months. So maybe you want to mention that, and you know, they appreciate that. They'll appreciate you coming back to them and inquire about the situation. So he just wants to sit. As you see, it's not always easy to do the dog's tail, because that's all they want to do is sit. Sit. Oh, good. Turn you around. Stand up. Let's have a look. Oh, wow. Look at that, hon. Willy do a good job. You do a good job? You do your head? So I just want to be sure for his head. Good pup. Don't forget to cut that nail. Squirmy. Okay. So I am just going to contour this ear. Make a little puppy ear. So I know he hasn't been with me for a while, so I'll just bring this down to maybe about a centimeter. That's left from the leather to there, approx. And then the tip here, I'll bring it nice and close to the tip so that you can have a nice short puppy ear. This is just ear contouring. Contour that ear, you gotta feel for that leather. And right now I'm just bulk cutting. I'm just like, nothing's perfect right now, and nothing ever really is perfect, but you know what I mean? And that's okay. I'm just gonna take some of this off for now to give me some room to work. And everything will be finalized after. So I just give myself the quick cut. It's just a quick chomp chomp. And then for the rest, I'll make it all nice and smooth with my other scissors, my trusted Kenshis. So I'm just going to chop all of that off. Look at all of that. That's all going. You don't need that big face. You're still a little one. You're still a youngin'. So I'm just going flat across. You don't want to catch any fat there. Then I'm just creating a V. Because when the dog brings his head down, I don't want that bulk there. Take this off. Again, I'm just chunking everything off right now because it's got just too much. Bring this forward. I need to hold your head, honey. Okay, can I hold it? Can I hold this? Can I hold this? This is usually the tougher parts of the groom. I'm going to round this out here. Hang on, hang on, hang on. And I got to take all of that out. We're going to go from the nose to the ear back here. We'll go from the nose, all of that. Satisfying. So I went from the nose here to the back. I'm going to pull everything back. And I'm going to take everything that's in front of that ear. Now, sometimes when you're holding the dog like up here at the nose, they might start licking and they might even want to sneeze. So you just let them sneeze, and you got to let go of them once in a while. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to bulk all of this out. All of that's got to go. He has a little mat back here, so I have to really get in there and get the mat. I cut through the mat because instead of cutting behind it, because I want to leave some of that hair. And when you cut into a knot, you cut into the knot, sometimes when you brush it out after, you know, you can keep some of that hair. There's another video I did talking about that, so yeah. All right, so he has all of this. There are different ways to do this part. Sometimes I like to just grab all of that like this, hold the dog's head, like that, and then just get rid and do like a sunshine here. That's where he's coming all around like that. We had a lot on the side here. And then once you let go, everything's nice and round. Long lashes, honey. Those are long, long lashes. And these are like little, you've got those little teeth on there. That's why you're seeing me clip, clip, clip. It's not cutting one straight line. one straight, not like straight scissors, it's not the same thing. Like these here, these are chunkers. I love these. We come in and I'm going to do that little round here. I'm going to shape this all the way to the back of the ear, being careful. You got to be careful for that ear. And then I'm just going to pull everything back. You be careful, you don't want to catch that eye. Pull everything back. And we're going to do this part here. So guys, if you haven't had the time yet, it's a time to click that subscribe button to follow along with me like this. A lot of my grooming videos are this style where all I do is I'm just teaching as I go. You know, you watch me groom and I teach as I go. If I, you know, come into something that I need to show and explain, each dog is different. From one shape down to another, there are different situations. Let's see how I can get that. Like right now, there's these mats back here, and I'm explaining to you guys that you don't have to cut behind that mat. If you just cut into the mat, and even if there's a part of the mat that stays there, if you just give it a few taps, you'll be able to brush right out brush it right out. And by brushing it right out, you can keep a little bit here. I'm going to use this one, this one's better. You can keep a little bit of that length. You're okay. You're okay. Sit, sit, sit. Sit, sit, sit. This one does not like having his head played with. Here, I didn't cut enough out. There. That's better. Here. Because cutting behind the mat sometimes causes, makes it really, really short. So if you want to leave a little bit of there, not that you want to leave too much back here, because that's where a lot of the mats happen. All right, so we'll do the same thing on this side. I'm just going to grab all of this, bring this into a sunshine here like that, and we're going to just sunshine that away all around my hand. I protected the dog's eye. Okay, so now that I got rid of the bulk, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start really shaping properly. I'm using my eyes to create that nice circle, the round head. So the dog pulls away, and you know that's what they do. They just like to pull. I want a nice circle here. Cut some of that mustache out. This side too. Just cut a little bit of that out. And you gotta hold their little chinny chin chin, guys, because you have scissors in your hands. Some people are like, oh my God, you're holding them. Yes, I have to have some sort of control over the head. Oh, there he goes. What I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to just grab all of that hair that he has in the front. No, he keeps licking. So if he keeps licking, I'm just going to put my finger in there, put my finger under his lip, inside. Hold him like this, because he keeps licking. And I'm just going to cut a little of that off. Not sure if you're seeing any well. You're seeing well. Doesn't say anything in any well. The more you lick, the longer it will be, honey. Hang on. Is that on? Nope. I'm just going to hold that. Okay. The reason why I did that is because I don't want any hair going in his mouth, because that can wrap around his teeth and cause his teeth to rot. It does, guys. Believe me, I've seen it. Seen a dog come in here and his tooth has been in there. His hair has been in there for so long that it just causes odors, and it's just yucky. Really yucky. So all I'm doing now is just fluffing everything up and out, and just using my eyes, making everything flow. Okay? Don't forget to brush downwards. You want the transition from here to here to look nice and soft. So I got some hearts from Susan. Thank you so much. Yes, the dew claw. I always call them thumbs. The little thumbs. I know they're dew claws. I'm just being funny. We need to use the proper words. I'm going to finish up those ears also. I just ordered another pair of scissors from Opaz. I don't know if you guys have heard of that company. I'm not sure how they will work, if I'm going to like them, but you know, it's always trial and error when it comes to buying things. Someone will say, oh, they're amazing, but from one groomer to another, I mean, for one person it might be amazing, and for another it might not be. I'm just going to thin out the bulk here, slowly. Make it nice and equal. We're running at the end here, are we? Look at those ears. When it comes to the head, we're always going back, and it's like, okay, that's not round enough. Down here, I'm gonna go in with these because these chunk better. It's got a lot of chunking. And you'll notice these big ones, they'll leave marks, but you have to kind of move back and forth to try to erase those marks. Oops. Fish made a noise. He jumped out of the water. Oh, good fishies are loud. You're a loud fish. They like to skip and dance in there. So yes, guys, I was mentioning that I am live every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And I upload new videos Monday and Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And I'm actually thinking of uploading an extra video where I will launch it at night. And then it would be, what do you call that? What's it called? Oh darn, I don't remember what they call it. A premiere. And premieres, what they are is like everyone shows up to watch the movie, the video together, and I'm there. I would be there for questions and whatnot and watch the video with you guys. So I would be present during the time that you're watching. You would know that I'm right there. If you have a question for a specific part, I'm right there. So I'm thinking of doing premieres. Do you guys think it's a good idea? Is that something that you would enjoy? Just let me know right now. I'll still be doing it, but it would be nice to know just the same. I'm not doing all this work for nothing. So yeah, I think premieres would be a really cool idea. And then I could, we could talk, we could chit chat together. Libby, my pleasure. It's more than a pleasure to share. So all I'm doing up here is I'm just getting rid of some of this bulk. As you noticed, I am combing upwards like this. Always best to come away and downward, down the ear and not up. You might see me do it sometimes, but I can feel the tension I'm using on my hand, and I know the dog, it's like from one dog to another, it's different. If I have someone that's pretty squirmy, I might not be coming in this way, so he's got a few. Right now, I'm just trying to perfect it the best I can, make him as good as I can. I'm gonna call his mom. And now I'm going to use these thinners here. There's like 40, wish I knew how many teeth. I say that every time. They're the Shinobi. The Kenshi Shinobis. It's 40 something teeth. And these just soften everything. He's got too much on his sides. My left side, I always have trouble with my left side. We all, we all have our little, difficult areas. And this is an area when I do my left side, it takes a little more work for me. It's because I have to, it's always a little longer, so I have to always come back in, right? That's okay. Just go back in, get your job done. I think he's looking pretty slick. You know, when he came in, if you go back to the beginning of the video, wow. He had a lot of hair. Oh, did I do this side? I think I did this side. Hang on, did I do that side? Let's see. Oh, I didn't do this side. I like to just pull all of that hair forward and get rid of those little hairs that are just hanging, you know, that little tickly hairs. Tickly hairs. Is that even something? And then they always have curly curls. That's why it's important to, when you're drawing them, to drawing the best you can, straighten that ear out. But as I mentioned, this grooming is not competitive grooming. Something in my throat. So we do what we can, right? We do what we can. You always got to do what you can. You never walk out of a groom, you know, don't feel bad if you can't finish something. If the dog didn't want, and you let mom and dad know. You say, look, I have trouble with this part, and well, if they're not satisfied, they can find another groomer that might be able to do it. Maybe you can't do it, that's fine. It is just fine, guys. No pressure. Look at this little boy. Look at that little boy, how cute he is. We're pretty much done, huh? We're done. Just bring this back. So, letting you guys know that I'm here every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I know I mentioned it. I'm going to mention it again. And I hope to see you in my next video. And yeah, let me know if that's something that, yes, do premiere. Oh, really, Shelly? Okay. Thank you so much, Shelly. Thank you again for, yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Shelly. That was very kind of you for the $10. Willy is cute. All right, so I will do the premieres. I just needed that one push, Shelly. All right, Shelly, I will be doing that. And yeah, maybe I'll have to think about what day I'd be doing it, okay? But you might see, when it is, but I will do it. Thank you so much, Shelly. That was very inspiring. Okay, so I'm going to put a little perfume on this little bunny bun, and I'm going to call Mom. And I will see you in the next video, maybe the next premiere, so we can hang out together. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.